Hello, Just Jax here and welcome to my channel, and today we are back with Cubism, Picasso, woman seated in an armchair, recreated in blues and greys. Last time we finished off the black detail work. This time we are gonna do the whites, then touch up. Before I start that, mammoth task as it's gonna be, I started this. I did not hit record, so I stopped. All I did was one coat in here, here, and across the bottom before I looked up and saw the screen was black. So, like I say, not really missed anything, so I've got to give them all a second coat. But before we continue, wanted to get that addressed. So, that being said, this has been stirred, and we are going to get that hair start to go around the outside. And we are recording this time. I keep looking to check to make sure I have not goofed again in such quick succession. I'll try and get the hairs out as I'm going, because like I said, my big girl Nova is molting hard. She's black and white. Now the black hairs I can see easy, the white hairs I can't until I run the paint over them. Now, whilst I don't want to go over all the black again, that won't be the end of the world if it means the white is nice and tight. I think we'll come up to there and then we'll swap to the big brush. I'm going to give everything a thoroughly good clean before we continue, because these brushes get loaded up pretty quick. Wait, let's get this one. In other news, hopefully as well at this point, they'll be up the next cryptid. Now, as it stands, I've got bits arriving hopefully in the next couple of days, so we can get started on her. And I can tell you now, because she will long since be up, I'll pop a link in the description if I remember. It's going to be a mermaid, like siren style. So not all pretty princess style, and I'm taking inspiration from the betta fish. They have absolutely glorious fins and tails, and demonettes of Slanesh. So that's going to be pretty cool to see and to work on. I've got some wire. I'm talking quite quiet because at this point it's night time. My other half is asleep. Yeah, I've got some wire on the way and some chiffon. I've just yet to decide at this point how I'm going to do a hair, and if it's going to be a hair or if it's going to be a further play on the fin-like aspect. And I think we will come and do a second coat in these areas. Since they are dry, we don't need to go right up to the edge. Right. That is definitely all we can do tonight. So tomorrow for me, I just cleaned it and then I did the exact same thing again. Tomorrow for me, but in a second for you. Okay, we are back. Still have the onslaught of hairs. So we're going to second coat white around here, and then we're going to go round and do some touch-up work. Now we can use the big brush for this because we've done a rather nice job of being up close. Now if we're really lucky, we'll be able to get touch-up work done while this side is drying. If we work from that side, so then it'll just be the final shot. So I have some other projects to get on with today, and they're going to be quite time consuming. Well, not necessarily time consuming, they're just going to require this space. So we'll see. Fingers crossed. And this should, at this point in time, in real time, be going to its home tomorrow. So fingers crossed we're all happy with it. Is, as it stands anyway, the white officially done. So we're going to flip it round and have a look at where needs touch up. So I'm going to put this away so I'm confident. So let's flip around and eyeball. Now we're going to touch up that line a bit, but we'll save that till the very end. As far as this goes, we're not as bad as I thought. In fact, we're quite tidy all round. Might be the odd little bit in here, and then we'll get the burnt sugar out. And I've noticed a tiny bit of midnight sapphire down here. So let's get the zebra black first. I see a hair. Oh my days, it's damn near impossible to keep the nova hairs off everything at the moment. So just as I'm confident we don't need this anymore, we need to crack it out quickly so I can touch up that area. And I've got even more white paint everywhere now because it decided the lid flipped on my hand. So now my hand is all white. Right, a little bit there. I'm going to pull a hair out of the middle of the canvas. Right, I don't see any more hairs that have landed. Right. Let's put that away again. My sleeve has rollen away. My hand is covered in white. Let's clean that again. Bring this over here because I don't want to drip onto the canvas. Right. And let's not touch the canvas with this hand. In fact, let's not touch anything with this hand. And hopefully my sleeves will stay where I want them to. Right. This line of the black. And a tiny bit there. We're not touching that line just yet. It's still got a bit of drying to do. My sleeves are running away with me again. Right. That one's okay. Tiniest bit. There. Here. In case you wonder why I do this with my hand, it gives me a really steady, even spot to lean on, as opposed to having this hand floating. This will keep that line a bit more fluid for us. Otherwise there's risk of it going wibble wobble. Right, I don't think, tiny bit in there. I don't think, as far as this side of the canvas goes, there's any more black. She says as she spies a bit. I think I'm getting there. I don't think I've touched anywhere. I think we're on to the burnt sugar for touch up now. We'll come back with the black for that line. So it needs a little bit of tidy up. So let's put black away for the moment. Well, we'll leave it over here because we're not done with it. Let's get the burnt sugar. And there. There's another hair. Oh my days. Honestly, my Nova's hairs, when she is molting, there is no sacred ground with that hair. It is everywhere. Cupboards that are shut and haven't been open since she's been molting have got Nova's hairs in them. Right. We are going to get that little bit there. There was the tiniest bit in there. Actually, we're going to, even though it's just the tiniest bit, we'll give it a little bit more of an even cover. Because even though the paint's been stirred, I've done this in the past and you can see where the touch-up's been, so it's not so obvious. That's all the touch up with the burnt sugar. We'll just come in with the black a little bit more here, just to reshape this bit a tiny bit, and black down that line. Right, so I'm going to get some clean water and get the Midnight Sapphire out for that tiniest little touch up right here, and wash my hands because it's dry now, but you know, it feels like it's kind of begging for something to happen. So let me do that. Okay, we have the tiniest bit of Midnight Sapphire to do there. And that is that. Nowhere else. And we'll flip it around. So we're done with that one. And we'll get that black line put in because I think that should be dry over there. Dry enough to get that line tidied up. And then we'll have to wait for it to dry completely there so we can touch up a tiny bit more, even though I've put the burnt sugar away, a tiny bit more burnt sugar and black. So let's just tidy this line up. Not much, just a little bit. Okay. I think everywhere else we're okay. Tiniest little bit there. Everywhere else we're okay. Let's just flip it back round. We can't go in there yet because it's still... Oh, can we? I think we're safe. I need to get the right angle for that side. I think we're safe coming right in here. Yep, right in there. Yep, right in there. We're done. All I want to do, I think the eye's okay as far as burnt sugar goes. There's a hair there again. We need a bit more burnt sugar on that particular spot of black right there. So I'm going to get the burnt sugar. So this little dot here that just doesn't want to cover. The eye seems to have covered fine. not coming, we can come in there a tiny bit where it's dried, where we want it. Have a little bit of coverage. Okay. I'm just going to let that dry now. And once that's dry, completely dry, we can do final shot. So we are done. So we'll come back when this is free of all clutter and she is nice and dry for the final. Alright, we are dry, we are finished. And I don't know if I can get all of this in even by sliding it up. I'll stand her that way and I will try during editing to rotate it. That's what I'm going to try and do. Fingers crossed I can do that. It's pretty cool. I'll get my hands out of the way so when I flip it in editing it won't look funny. It won't look like I'm all over here. I'll be all over here. So yeah, she is done. She's going to a new home tomorrow, so fingers crossed. She is fine. So yeah, she is definitely one of the more abstract ones of the canvas, of the Picasso canvases I've done so far. I like her. I do think she's very interesting. And I was seeing this as like a melted bit of head, but it's actually the nose. Looking at it, especially from this angle. This is obviously the mouth, obviously eyes. I'm seeing that as one arm, that as another arm. We've got various boobies going throughout, bit of rib cage, bit of pit. I'm going with this being a belly button. I was originally seeing this as a hand as well, like coming down over her lady, well, towards her lady bits, and this could have been the lady bits. But since looking at it up there, that looks like that's the lady bits. So, yeah, I hope you've enjoyed. This was fun to do. There is one more to do after this, which is going to be even bigger. So I'm going to have to set up the easel and pop the camera. Well, this will be flipped around. Pop the camera up that way, facing me. And I'll get the easel involved, because that one is going to be big. So yeah, like I say, I do hope you've enjoyed this. Like if you like what you see, comment if you've got something to say, and subscribe if you really like what you see and you want to see more and know when it's coming. Thank you all again so much. Take care and see you in the next one.